All right, so synthetic division. So who has had experience with, who's done synthetic division before? Show of hands. A couple of you? Wow, I thought more of you would have. Okay. All right, synthetic division is a way to divide polynomials, and we're introducing it now. We'll actually use this more a little later in the semester, but we're just introducing it now because that's what the college tells us to do. So you'll find here that everything in this class is driven by Solid Community College, and we got to do what we got to do. Okay, what they tell us to do. Okay, now for most of the lecture notes here, we will have what are called starter questions. Okay, so when you come into class and you're sitting down and I'm taking roll, or you're waiting for me to get stuff done, okay, or whatever before we get started, go ahead and look at the starter question and answer if you can. You usually they're pretty easy, okay, but it's just to get you to start thinking in the right mode. Okay, all right. So let's just talk about these here, and then we'll get rolling here. So it says there are 4 parts to a division problem: the divisor, the dividend, the quotient, and the remainder. Okay, so now it says do the following long division, then label which part is which. Okay, so let's do the first part here. All right, this we're running back to, was it 3rd or 4th grade? You learned division, whatever that is. So we're going back to 3rd grade for a minute. Okay, so how do I handle this problem right here? Okay, so 6 goes into 24 4 times, right? So we write a 4 up here. All right, and then now what do? So we do 4 times 6 is 24. Oh, I need to blow that up bigger. I can tell that right. And then I subtract them, right? Or I change the sign. Welcome. I'll get you all marked here. Okay, grab the lecture notes in the back there if you didn't already. Okay, and our remainder is 0. Okay? All right, so now let's label our parts. So which is the divisor, which is the dividend, and which is the quotient, and which is the remainder? Don't everybody speak at once, please. Seriously. What's what? Any of those 4? Okay, the quotient is 4. There's our quotient. Okay. Remainder is 0. And the other 2. Okay, the divisor is 6. That's what we're dividing by. And the dividend is 24. That's what we're dividing into. Okay? Good. All right, now 6 into 25. So same type thing. Okay, hang on. 6 goes into 25 how many times? 4 times again. And 4 times 6 is 24. This is so touchy. Okay, and now again we change the sign here. We subtract it. 25 minus 24 is 1. Okay, so you'd write the 4, you can write a remainder of 1, or you can write plus 1 over 6 or whatever. Okay, so now our remainder is 1. It's not 0. Okay, so the next question is, what does it mean if our remainder is 0? Okay, so if the remainder is 0, then it goes into it evenly, right? And that's the word that we're looking for. Okay. So if we divide something and the remainder is 0, then that means it goes in evenly. Okay, now, or to put in the vocabulary coming up, okay, the divisor is a factor of the dividend. Okay. Okay. Long division. It's long, but it works, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so now the thing is, when you're dividing polynomials, okay, using long division, the nice thing is the rules are all the same. You already know all the rules for long division. Okay, you learned them back in 3rd grade when we were talking about them. Okay, so let's go ahead and write this up here the best I can, which isn't very good. So 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, now when we are doing excuse me, synthetic division, and we're dividing, or excuse me, long division, and we're dividing polynomials, right? We always look at the first term in each polynomial, and that's kind of what we deal with. That's what we have to get to match up. Okay, so I look at x here. So x times what is 2x cubed? 2x squared, right? So we're going to write 2x squared up here. That's what goes first. Now, just like in long division, I take the 2x squared and I times it by my divisor. Okay, so I get 2x squared times x minus 1. All right, well, 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times minus 1 is minus 2x squared. Okay, now what's my next step? What do I do in long division? When I put my number down there, then I subtracted, right? Or I changed all the signs, which I'm going to do here. So I'm going to change my signs. I'm going to subtract it. So 2x cubed minus 2x cubed goes away. Minus x squared plus 2x squared is x squared. Okay. Now in normal division, we would bring down our next number, correct? But in polynomial division, now we just simply bring down our next term. So we're going to bring this plus 2x, and we're going to bring it right down there. Okay? So now again, we just repeat the process. So x times what is x squared? Yeah, x times x is x squared. So x times x is x squared. I'm going to run out of room down here. X times minus 1 is minus x. And now we change our signs. X squareds go away. 2x and x is 3x. And then we bring down our minus 3. Okay, that comes down here. All right, so x times what is 3x? Pretty simple. 3 times x is 3x. I'm out of room. Okay, it's right over here. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. We change our signs and we get a remainder of 0. Okay, so is x minus 1 a factor of 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2x minus 3? Yes, it is. In fact, it factors into x minus 1 times 2x squared plus x plus 3. Okay? And that's all we have to do with long division. Okay? So again, pretty straightforward, not too bad. The nice thing about long division is it always works. Okay? If you do it properly, it'll always give you the right answer. Now, when we talk about synthetic division is great and it works, but it only works in specific types of polynomials. Okay? Long division works on all types, and that's the cool thing about it. Okay? All right. Another long division, or are we okay? Good? All right, we're good. Let's move on then. Okay, so now we've got the exact same problem, right? Now here's what we're going to do. Okay, the first thing is we're going to take our first polynomial, okay, the polynomial that we're going to divide into, and we're going to write it down without the variables. Okay, so we're just going to write the coefficients down. So we're going to write down a 2, a negative 1, a 2, and a negative 3. Now we're going to take our divisor and we're going to set it equal to 0. Okay? Well, if x minus 1 is 0, what is x? x1. X is 1, right? Okay, and I'm going to put that in a little box over here. Now we're ready to synthetically divide. I'm just going to put a little line under that polynomial, and now we go. So the first thing we do, the first term here, the first number here, we're going to drop it straight down. We're going to put a 2 there. Okay? All right, now anything that goes below the line, now we're going to times it by our number in our box here. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2. And I'm going to put the 2 in the next column. Then I'm going to combine these two. 2 minus 1 is 1. Repeat the step. 1 times 1 is 1. Put it in the next column. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And then 3 minus 3 is 0. We are now done. Okay, now you put your variables back in. Okay, so this is our remainder, which is 0. This is our constant, so we get plus 3. This is x to the first, and this is x squared. And there's your answer. And what answer did we get above? The exact same thing, right? Yeah. Yes, sir.
For ones like C,
Mm-hmm.
you have to put zeros in for
Correct. For placeholders, yep, we're going to get there in just a second. You're exactly right. Okay, so let's look at B here. So let's do the same thing. So we have the same polynomial here. So it's 2, negative 1, 2, negative 3. But now what number goes in my little box here? -3, right? Because we set that equal to 0. All right, bring your 2 down. 2 times -3 is -6. -6 minus 1 is -7. -7 times -3 is 21. We're getting a big number here. 21 and 2 is 23. 23 times -3 is -69 minus 3 is -72. Okay, so now again, that is your remainder right there. So is x plus 3 a factor? No, it's not. Why not? Because my remainder is not 0.
How do you show how do you like show remainders?
That's oh, okay. So if I were to write this out,
Yeah.
okay, a couple different ways you can do it. The way that the college prefers and that your Math Excel will as well is this. So this would be 2x squared minus 7x plus 23 plus 23, and then since remainder is -72, we would put minus 72 over whatever you divided by, x plus 3. And that's how you want it to look right there. Okay, good question. All right, so far so good? Yes?
How did you get the -3 in the box on the side?
I set this right here equal to 0. So set that equal to 0, solve it, and then, yeah, and that's what it is, okay? So for part C here, so what number goes in our box on C? Yeah, it's going to be -2, right? Because x plus 2 is 0. And there we go. Now for this one, okay, so we start off with a 1, and that's my x to the 4th power. Now what's my x cubed power? Well, I don't have one, right? So it's 0. I have to put that 0 in. You have to put the placeholders in. Okay, and then x squared is -4. Then x to the first is 0. And my constant is -5. Bless you. Yes? Oh my gosh. Okay, so again, so we bring our 1 down. 1 times -2 is -2. -2 and 0 is -2. -2 times -2 is +4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 times -2 is 0. That's a whole bunch of zeros coming here. That makes it easy. And then we get -5. So what is our answer? So again, this is our remainder. This is x to the first. I'm sorry, constant. X to the first, x to the second, and x cubed. So we have x cubed minus 2x squared with the remainder of -5. So again, you write it this way, -5 over x plus 2. And that's your answer right there. Okay. So once you've done your synthetic division, the number on the far right is your remainder, and then you just go up each one. So remainder, sorry for you guys, remainder, constant, x to first, x to second, x squared, however far up you need to go. Okay? All right. So if we look at D now. Okay. 2, -1, 2, -3, that looks familiar. Now 2x plus 3, how do we handle that? Okay, if 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, then what is x equal to? So you subtract 3, divide by 2, so we get -3 over 2. Okay, this is going to be a little funky, but it's still doable. It's a thing. That's a cool thing. There's some seats up front, ladies. That's about all we got.
Okay.
And then I got to obviously retake roll because everyone's here now. Just about. Okay, so bring your 2 down. What's 2 times -3 over 2? 2 times -3 halves. Yeah, it's just -3, right? Double 1 1/2, it's 3, right? So we get -3 here. Oops, over here. -3 minus 1 is -4. Okay, what's -4 times -3 halves? Yeah, put -4 there. It's actually going to be +6. So that's 2, right? So we get +6. 6 and 2 is 8. What's 8 times -3 halves? That's -12. minus 3 is negative 15. So even with the fraction over there, it's still doable. Okay, now let's write our quotient. Okay, so again, negative 15 is our remainder, 8 is our constant, negative 4 is x to the first, 2 is x squared. So we get 2x squared minus 4x plus 8 with the remainder 15. So minus 15 over 2x plus 3.
So what happens if you end up with a fraction there? You just write it.
It's still doable, yeah, it just sucks.
It
Yeah.
just sucks.
That's when you don't synthetic divide. That's usually when long division becomes a lot nicer.
Okay.
So, okay.
And then you have to use long division.
But again, they are still doable. Okay. Now they want us to divide and write your answers, mixed numbers. We're not going to worry about that. You guys are smart enough to figure that out, right? Okay. So let's try 26 here. This number 26, and then we'll move on to section 1-4. Okay. So again, let's see. So what number is going to go in our box here? Negative 1/3.
Oh, that's division.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, this is supposed to be a divide sign right here. There, it is. What are you talking about? Sheesh. Okay, so down here we got 3, 1, 0 for our x squared, negative 3, and 1. And now we're ready. Okay, so bring our 3 down. What's 3 times negative 1/3? Negative 1. Plus 1 is 0. 0, 0, 0, negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 1/3 is positive 1, and we get 2. So now again, constant or remainder here, constant, x to the first, x squared, x cubed. So we get 3x cubed minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 1/3. And again, leave it like that. Oh, that 3 is actually not over it.
So the negative 3 plus 2 are both in the remainder?
No,
No.
that was written poorly by your teacher. There you go.
That effect.
Yes, in this case, yes. Okay.